In this video, I'm going to go over the basic stick mechanics for a head wrap. I throw my head wrap very differently than a lot of people do. As mentioned in previous videos, and if you've not already looked at the earlier videos in this series, please go back and watch them from the beginning. They all build one on another. So please start with the introduction to stick mechanics. That one's critically important for what we're doing here. But as mentioned in previous videos, I don't use a lot of arm and muscle to get the shots to happen. The stick mechanics that I do and that I teach are specifically designed to be kind to your body, and I think this one on the head wrap, the way that I throw it, illustrates that better than just about anything else that I do. There's a lot of people that have a hard time throwing a head wrap because they have problems with their elbows, their wrists, their shoulders, and the mechanic that I use is very kind to your body. It actually has minimal impact. So one of the things that I mentioned in previous videos is, as I'm beginning my shot from my basic stance, as I do my hip rotation and I let the stick roll off the shoulder, up to this point right here where my blade is parallel to my chest, all of the power that I need to deliver a telling blow is present right here once the stick rolls off my shoulder and once it comes parallel to my chest. So I don't need to make more power with my arm to complete the shot as it finishes. Once it comes around, it is going to have the power that it needs to deliver a telling blow. So I'm going to show from this angle. Hopefully this will work for you. So if I were to finish a flat snap right here, this is what it looks like when I finish flat snap from this angle. The difference between where the flat snap ends and where the head wrap ends is I'm going to roll my sword over. So where the flat snap is going to hit at the temple, and the head wrap is going to land right behind the ear. Basically, the same location. And what you need to understand about how I do this is that this motion, this is the mechanic that I'm using to roll the wrap. So one of the things that is important to cover here as well is, as we're throwing the wrap, I'm sure many people have heard the theory of throwing a flat snap like you're serving a bowl of soup, where your hand is going to be flat going this way. One of the old ways we used to teach the head wrap is the idea that you serve the bowl of soup, and then right as you get to the end, you dump it in their lap. Well, one thing that happens with that typically is when I tell people to do that, what I get is this, where the sword comes off of this plane. It is critically important for us to be able to maintain the same plane throughout the entire course of this shot. And the biggest reason for that is energy transfer, as I mentioned in previous videos. Any variation you have off of a straight line is going to bleed energy off of the shot. So if we can keep the same plane and let the tip roll around throughout the whole plane, we're able to take all of the energy, and that energy then builds exponentially to be able to come around. And as we're doing this again, you'll notice that my tip is going out towards the end of the stick, out from my body. My hand is staying in my core so that I can control this, rather than trying to get it out here. I don't want to throw the wrap out here and then try to do this, because as I mentioned before in regarding arm and moment, the further my arm gets away from my body, from my core, the heavier this becomes on the other end. So if I throw this out here and then try to roll around, it's more work that way. So what I want to do is I want to start it here, and then as I maintain this same plane throughout the course of the shot, and again, I'm using this mechanic where you notice how much my hand comes out this way. But you can also see that as I do that, I'm able to keep it in here, and I'm able to let the tip roll around. So as I throw this, and I'm maintaining that same plane throughout the entire course of the shot. And essentially what I'm doing, again, I'm not using my arm or my wrist or my elbow to make that happen and to make more power. Because the power already exists, I'm literally pivoting my hand around the sword. I'm just getting my hand out of the way. I'm not using my hand, I'm not using my arm at all to make power. I'm getting it out of the way. And I'm using this mechanic to pivot around the sword that is already moving. This is how you're going to save your joints. And this is what it looks like full speed. That's head rep.